Okay, let's try this again. I've been a little out of practice, so really pumped to be back and be live and be live with you all tonight and to dive in and chat all about recruiting and our demo. And yeah, so it's been a wild journey. For the last year, I've been kind of head low, just laying low and working on creating this platform. And it's been a really cool vision and dream that's come alive. And I'm so excited to share it with you because it is really incredible what it does. So I'm excited to come on, answer recruiting questions, um, talk a little bit about the platform, and yeah, just kind of give you all a quick look and a demo and show you what's I would say under the hood, but it's probably more appropriate to say under the hat. But yeah, I'm really pumped. So happy hey, Amanda. And so good to see you. Hi, Henley. Super nice to see everybody live. So I'm gonna share my screen and kind of go in and talk a little bit about the platform, and then happy to answer questions as well. So if you have recruiting questions or anything on your mind, then I would love to answer questions and yeah, kind of go from there. So I'm going to do a little demo and kind of show you what this is all about. At least I'm hoping to. I want to share my screen here. And this is the first time that I've been live in a really long time. So just giving you a heads up here that I'm a little rusty. But I'm going to dive in here and hopefully y'all can see. I don't know if y'all can see my screen yet. Will you tell me if you can see my screen? Is it there? I'm going to answer questions as we go, but I'm really hoping that y'all are going to be able to see my screen because I can see it on my StreamYard side, but I don't know if I can see it on Insta. Oh, cool. You can see it. Yay. Okay. Awesome. So this is kind of the home page. Once you've actually created your account and you log in, it kind of gives you a full, you can see the sidebar menu and really kind of get the hang of the site. I have a bunch of tutorials in here. So it will help you with like connecting your Instagram or your Gmail account, because you actually can send emails from inside the platform. So there's a bunch of different tutorials in here to kind of help you understand. So if you create a free account, you can check it out and go through and watch these tutorials. But I'm going to show you stuff tonight about what's real, what's different, what's unique about the platform, and then obviously answer questions as we go. But it's really unique. So the first thing you're going to want to do is actually build out your player profile. Your player profiles, these are all free. So if you decide to build a profile, you can go on, you can create your account. And what's really kind of cool is you can go through, you can look at schools on here, but you'll have a public profile that you can share with college coaches and allow for them to see your schedule, see all of your academic information. There's a lot of great stuff in here. Your highlights can all be posted in here. This is kind of unique. It allows you to actually share all of your tournaments and then also your upcoming college camps. What's really unique about our platform is as you build out your college camps, we won't let you forget to email the college coaches before. So for example, if you're going to the SG Elite College Camp or the T Street College Camp or any of those like big camps that the major clubs host, you actually can come on here. You'll add all your camps and you tag the college programs that are going to be there, and it will actually write your emails for you in your voice. So one of the things that's unique about the platform is that once you actually save your schools, so when you go in and save your schools, when it's time to send your email updates, this is really unique. You can click on all of your schools, or you can click on a couple that you want to send an update to. And it literally allows you to send your emails to coaches in your own voice in like under 2 minutes. It's crazy what it does. So you actually can either draft your own, or you can have the platform, you can have our AI assistant actually draft your emails for you. It's really kind of cool. But you can go in, you can create, if you've already started your process, for example, you could create a follow-up email. Then you could have Vera draft it. And so the way Vera actually drafts your emails is that each month you get a deck of 20 questions, and you're going to go through those 20 questions. You're going to answer 5. And as you answer those recruiting questions, it's not just recruiting. It's like your personal life. It's about academics, volleyball, things that you might be doing like around the holidays. It would be around the holidays and some of that kind of stuff too. What it does is it allows you to kind of brainstorm a little bit, to open up and share different aspects of your life, as opposed to just sending like the same normal messages that everybody sends. I think a lot of times people get these templates and they say, "Hi, coach, my name is, I'm a sophomore at, here's a link to my highlights," or "I'm going to this particular tournament, here's my day 1 schedule." And you kind of sound like everybody else. And one of the things that you're trying to do is really stand out from the competition. And so this platform, what it really allows you to do is kind of open up, share different aspects of your life. And then you can see here, it personalizes the email to the coaching staffs that you're sending. You can literally hit send. It'll send them. And this actually sends from your personal Gmail account. So this is not a platform where you're DMing like some of the other recruiting platforms that are out there. You essentially are sending a message through their platform as opposed to it coming from your email. And this allows you to actually connect your Gmail account and then send it directly to the coaches. What you'll see here, the reason that it's spinning and it takes a bit, the Gmail actually has kind of rules with how you can email. And so in order to make sure that your messages actually hit the inbox of the college coaches, you'll see that it will take 30 seconds for each one, but you can literally hit send and then it goes. And you can actually see all of your outreach here. So you can see everything. It's like one platform, one dashboard where everything's visible to you. Every aspect of your recruiting process is here. It's really kind of cool. And I'm happy to answer questions as we go too. I've been a little nervous. Somebody asked, are there a lot of colleges that use this? What's unique about this platform is that it doesn't require the college coach to use it. The emails come from your inbox and they go directly to the college coach's inbox. It goes to their university inbox. And then it allows you to track. So you can see everybody who's opening your emails, who's the emails that you've sent, messages that have been opened. The reason that this number is higher is because coaches have opened the emails multiple times. You can see how many times they've clicked. When they've clicked on your profile, when they've clicked on your videos, everything is tracked. And then you can actually separate by the programs that are responding. What I like about this is you can go into the conversation from here and actually see the whole thread, the whole conversation between you and the coach. And what makes this nice as a parent is if you don't always have access to your kid's email and you're kind of helping them with the process, this allows everybody to stay on the same page and actually see. What's really unique though is you can go in and you can ask Vera questions in here. Like earlier I said, where am I? I've been emailing Houston Volleyball. And so I just asked, where am I with Houston Volleyball? What's the status? Where do you think I am in this process? And it literally gives you the full picture. Like, here's the honest truth. This is a little complicated and you need to know why. Poor Dave, I've been emailing him constantly. But when I sent him the original message, I had put recruit me. And so he literally wrote back and said, we want you to join Houston Volleyball. So that was really cool. But this is kind of a breakdown of everything that's gone on since. So it says like, what's happened since? After that exchange, you've sent 6 more emails. Talk about annoying. He's opened them 26 times across 8 emails. So he's definitely reading them, but no reply since April 13th. Darn it. I don't think I'm getting recruited anymore from Houston, but just really kind of cool. You can come in here and you can ask any recruiting questions, anything that's going on in your process, you can actually ask. And so our software is agentic. If a lot of you don't use AI yet, what's really unique about that is anytime a coach responds to your messages, when they've sent an email back and maybe they've requested a phone call, it allows you to prep. It'll say, would you like me to prep your phone call outline for you? It's really unique. So you're able to just dive in and have it answer your questions, prep you for visits, prep you for camps, all that kind of stuff. So it's really cool. Somebody asked, what if coaches don't respond or come to the tournaments? If college coaches aren't responding to you, there could be a couple of reasons why they're not responding. One, you could be aiming too high. If you're aiming for programs that are out of reach athletically, one of the reasons that they may not be responding to you is that athletically you might not be a fit. Another reason that coaches may not respond might be the NCAA legislation. So if it's before June 15th, after you've completed your sophomore year, and if you've been emailing college coaches before that date, for example, that's why you'll see a lot of those messages will come back and they'll say, per NCAA rules, we can't engage in conversation. We can't talk to you until June 15th. So that could be one of the reasons that you're not getting responses from coaches, is if you're emailing them and they're not able to communicate with you, aside from maybe sending you their camp information. That is another reason. So PVC Recruiting is asking, how much does it cost per player or as a couple? Great. This is so cool. Thank you. I cannot tell you how long I've been working on this, and I'm so out of practice here. So I'm sorry. I haven't been live in a while. I'm actually a little nervous. But I'm really excited to share this with you. And I'm hoping that I'm explaining in a way that is easy for you to understand or comprehend. We do have, so the platform overall, when athletes connect their Gmail account and they are emailing from the system, it's $199 a month. You can try it for the first week for free, but you connect your Gmail account to the system. You can connect to other mail platforms too, but Gmail's the most popular. And so you can connect your mail account, and what it will do, the coaches don't know that you know that they're opening and clicking. It's hidden from them, but it allows you to see everything that's happening, which I think is great. One of the reasons that a lot of the coaches don't like the platforms is that you can see those analytics. Also, it doesn't go straight to their inbox. This platform goes directly into their inbox. You're sending emails from yours to theirs. As a recruiting coordinator, what's really cool is you can actually oversee the recruiting of your athletes. So the dashboard for a recruiting coordinator looks different than the players. But what it allows you to do is know when to get involved. So like one of the things that I wanted, because I run a recruiting service, I needed the ability to connect with coaches and to be proactive on behalf of my kids. What I wanted was, like, before camp, we typically will send emails to coaches on behalf of our kids before camp, and then we would follow up with college coaches after camp. What's cool is, as a club recruiting coordinator, you can do the same thing. Like, you can know where your kids are going to be, what events they're going to be at, and then you can proactively email those coaches on your behalf. Greta, in terms of your account, if your normal login isn't working, go ahead and create a new account, because we're making this transition. We were on WordPress and we outgrew that site. Our player profiles before were atrocious and they weren't working properly. So we've been making this transition. If you create a new account, I can connect it and make sure that everything's working properly for you. So just go ahead and create a new account, and then I'll activate it on your end. Yeah, so any questions that you have, I'm happy to answer questions as we go. Somebody's asking if it's for boys as well. The platform's for girls and boys. Both can use it. So we actually have all the college programs that are in here. So whether you're male or female, it really doesn't matter. You can go on and use the platform. And I'm happy to answer other questions as well. If you have questions about your recruiting process or what you're experiencing, or you have questions about the software, I'm really happy to answer those too. One of the things that's unique about the platform is every month it gets smarter and smarter. So it gets to know you, and it also gets to know the conversations that you're having with coaches to be able to help inform you or educate you about what you need to be doing. And so when you're on here, each month you get a set of questions. So it'll tell you to complete your monthly check-in. The other thing that it'll do is, once you've been going through the process for a while, Vera will have recommendations for you every month of things that you need to be doing. But when you come down here, I had already answered the questions for this month, like for my test account to work. When you go in here, you get monthly questions. You get a deck of 20 every month. So you get 20 different question cards. There's thousands that are in here, by the way. But you come in here and you'll pick questions that resonate with what's going on with you, like what's happening in your life right now, what's happening in volleyball, what's happening in the classroom, on the court, how are you growing? How are you improving? So there's a bunch of different questions. So this is, what are you learning now? That will matter at the next level. If you don't like that question, you can skip it. What academic progress are you most proud of, or given the demands of your time? So the reason that I built out these questions was because one of the things that I've found is that in working with so many athletes in the recruiting process, one of the big things that I've seen is that a lot of you all send like really boring, like really stagnant questions. You send kind of the same things. Like when it comes to your intro, you're sending a message that says, "Hi, coach. My name is Kara Hill. I'm a sophomore at such and such high school. Here's a link to my highlights." Or you're sending messages like, "Hey, I want to let you know that I'm going to be in Salt Lake City this weekend at the Salt Lake City Showdown. Here's my day one schedule." And you're putting in your schedule in there. And for college coaches, sometimes you all send kind of the same messages over and over and over again and are really redundant. And the thing that you need to understand about recruiting is that college coaches are recruiting people. And so it's really crucial that when you are going through this process, that you're opening up and you're sharing all aspects of your life, right? They want to know who you are as a person, what makes you tick. So when you're on here, like, the reason for this monthly check-in is to help you with brainstorming all the different types of questions that you might want to consider, like opening up and talking about yourself. So, academic progress may be something that you want to talk about. Maybe that's relevant to you this month. Or, how are you stepping into leadership, even if it's not focal? What are you doing on your team? I love that every month you get 20 new questions. And this is where you really open up and answer questions about yourself. And then what happens is Vera uses your voice, like your answers, and actually applies that to your messages. So when you go to actually write your emails, she's taking complete sentences of what you've opened up and talked about. She's actually going to apply that in your recruiting email. So every month, like this one is, what does playing within yourself look like for you right now? What's your favorite post-match reset, routine? The next one, how are you measuring progress beyond stats? I might want to save that one. How are you managing school as the season gets busier? We're high in travel season right now, right? So how are you managing it all? How has your confidence changed as the season has progressed? Maybe this is an opportunity for you to speak up and be maybe a little bit vulnerable about what's happening in your journey. Maybe you're not getting as much playing time right now, or you've been battling an injury and you're trying to come up with what to say. I find for so many athletes, that's one of the hardest parts of the recruiting process for them, is not knowing what to say, like not being able to come up with different ways to engage, whether you're injured, whether the season's continuing on. Sometimes you guys get in front of your computers or in front of your phones and you sit down and you go to write your messages and you draw a blank. And so the reason to have all of these brainstorming questions is for you to actually be able to take the time to think about different answers that you would want to, open up and talk about. And then it'll be there. So here are the 5 questions that I would have saved. And then you go in here and you actually answer your questions. So this part, I would highly advise that you're not using AI to answer these questions, because you want it to sound like you, right? You want it to be authentic and you want it to sound like you. So this is an area where you want to really open up and take the time to answer. I always say that you need a minimum of 4 sentence answers, and let me explain why. So you're going to have 5 questions that you get, and the reason to kind of open up and actually answer in these 4 sentences is it gives the platform. So like when you go to write your emails, it's never going to repeat the same topics, the same things that you've talked about. The system recognizes. So when if you've sent your intro email, Vera knows that you've already sent your intro email, and she knows everything that you actually put in your intro. If you sent a follow-up email, she knows that you've sent your follow-up email, and she knows what you've talked about in the past. Every month, she gets smarter and smarter, and she gets to know you deeper and deeper, which sounds a little creepy. It kind of is, but what it allows you to do is to really understand what's going on in your process at any given moment. So you'll open up and you'll answer these questions, and what you'll actually find, like I did a demo video. I'm gonna post a video that I did earlier today. I created some content earlier where I showed the answers that I actually put in the system. And then I showed my answers or like the emails that Vera drafted for me. And it was really, really cool to actually see like my full sentences come across and go through. So the system writes a significant amount of like what you've opened up and talked about. And that's why it's so important for you to be like really open, really vulnerable here. Coaches want to get to know you. Remember, they're recruiting people. So this part's really important. But every month you get new questions. So if you look here, if I were to review my answers from the previous month, this allowed me to kind of open up and talk about different things. And obviously, I don't play anymore. I'm old, but you can go in here and actually see the questions that I answered. And then tomorrow, I'm going to post this video on my social, and it shows like what my answers were and then how it wrote the emails in my voice. It was really cool. Abby asked a question. She said, at what age should I start the recruiting process? Is there any age that's too early? What's too late? Do coaches even pay attention to younger recruits, or do they like younger recruits reaching out? So that's kind of there's no black and white in recruiting. It kind of depends on the level of the player, the level of the program that you are proactively reaching out to. And I look at the recruiting process a little bit differently. There's, the side where you're running your email campaign. And so I would say for most athletes, it's beneficial for you to start your recruiting process by your freshman year in high school, where you actually start emailing coaches. I recommend that you get an athletic evaluation and you're targeting schools or you're emailing coaches of programs where you can play. That would be really important, that you're actually reaching out to coaches where you can play. When you're emailing programs where you're within athletic reach, you're going to get more attention from those coaches. They're going to be more engaged and they're going to be spending more time on your emails and following up with you, that kind of thing. So it kind of depends on your level. For example, I have an 8th grader that I'm helping right now who is a 5-star recruit. She's a top athlete. We're working on her social media marketing because that's really important to her. And there's an avenue for her for NIL. And so for her, building her personal brand right now and the email campaign is somewhat important that they complement one another and that there's crossover, because it's going to help with creating visibility, with exposure, with attracting brands, with a lot of different things. So for an elite athlete, starting in 8th grade is, pretty important if you want to build a personal brand. It takes time. Building a brand doesn't happen overnight. And so by starting early, that's really beneficial. Does everybody need to start in 8th grade? No, obviously not. There's a lot of things that you can be doing, though, in terms of messaging coaches. So it really depends. There are some programs that are identifying athletes younger and younger. And so for them, they're paying attention, they're tracking. Are they heavily recruiting those players at the moment? No, right? But they're definitely paying attention. If we look at a player like Kari Knotts, for example, who's really the top player in the country, and you look at her growth, you look at her projection, you look at, really she's just an amazing player. There's a lot of coaches that are watching, that are showing up, that are paying attention, right? She's got just amazing talent. And so I think it kind of depends. And I'd be happy, Abby, to chat with you further about that. Hopefully that answers a little bit of your question and can kind of better help you understand the process. So happy to show you anything on here and kind of dive in. So for those of you that are new, we launched our new recruiting platform today. We launched new player profiles and our recruiting platform, and we're so excited. I've been working on this for a year, and I've wanted to create this platform that would completely revolutionize recruiting. And so it's definitely filled with AI. There's some really cool tools in here. My favorite thing that I was showing a little bit earlier, in case you missed it, is you literally, let's say you have 60 to 100 schools on your list and you want to send your updates. You literally can send your updates in under 2 minutes. Like, you can pick the coaches and the programs that you're wanting to email. You can compose your message. You can pick that you're going to run a follow-up email. This is where you have Vera draft your message. So that's why those questions that I was telling you earlier about, when you do your monthly check-in and you go through, you really want to spend time answering those questions thoroughly. And Vera will go in. It takes about 30 seconds for her to draft the message, and this lights up red as soon as the draft is ready for you. We'll scroll down as soon as it's ready. You can also write your own. So if you didn't want to use AI to draft your messages, you can actually write your messages as well, and it will show up here for you, and then you can go down and you can customize it. But when you're down here, you can read what it said about you or what you put in. You can hit review, and then you can actually verify that the email is accurate. This is to Coach Rear at Houston. This says, "Hi, Coach Rear." This also gives you a warning. So what I built in here was a lot of, essentially a lot of things to kind of stop you in your tracks a little bit and make you think about whether or not you need to send that message. So I'm not a big fan of emailing coaches every week. I don't think it's necessary. I think when you do a really good job opening up and talking about you, talking about your journey, and helping coaches really get to know you, there isn't really a good reason to, there's not really a good reason to be messaging coaches week after week. I think you can run a really effective campaign by running twice a month and sending out emails every week. So that's just my personal philosophy. So it will give you warnings in here. The other thing, if you weren't listening earlier, like if you're just catching on now, our platform connects actually with your personal email account, with your Gmail account. And so you connect it, and then here you actually get to send messages. And so it goes from your inbox to the college coach's inbox. So here it's writing these messages. And then when I hit send, it's going to go through and it's actually going to send all my emails. So imagine, like, a lot of you have anywhere between 60 and 100 schools on your list that you're trying to email, and you might be trying to email those programs all the time. Now there's a platform that you literally can email all of the coaches on your list in less than 2 minutes. Like, it's really special for you to be able to get this done so quickly, and then to be able to actually track and know who's opening, who's paying attention, like who's engaging. The reason this is loading like this, if you're just joining, the reason that it's loading and it's showing that it's sending, you can see that it'll tell you when each one is sent, is because of the way Google treats emails. You have a personal email account that you're using to email college coaches. And so you want to make sure that it goes from your inbox to their inbox, if you will. And to guarantee that, they have to be spaced out. So once you hit send, you literally can walk away from the computer. As long as you leave it open, your messages will all get out. And then once it does, it will confirm. This one is sending to a test account that I created. So I'm going to open up actually my email for a moment, and I'm going to show you what it looks like in here. So this is what it would look like to a college coach. if you notice, it just says, hi, coach. It's because in the test account, I didn't want to put a last name actually in the test account. If I go into my send folders, you can see like, here's another example. I sent this to the North Alabama coach, Coach Johnson, or Coach Tristan. So this will actually show you what my message said. And then what's cool is it creates like your own professional signature in here. So your highlights, your social media is here. And then when you click on your profile, coaches can actually see your whole player profile. Everything's here for them. So they can get an overview of you. They can see your academic information. So they can kind of learn a little bit about you academically. They can see all your athletic stuff, where you play club, any of your performance metrics that you want to send. All of your highlights are posted on here as well. So they can go on, they can click your highlights and actually see everything in one place, and they're, just at their fingertips. And then they can actually see your whole club schedule. So all the events that you're going to be at, any of the college camps that you're going to be at, those will all be listed. There's a press area too. So if you've had other media companies that have actually written about you or opened up and talked about you, you can actually share press links in here. I didn't put any press links in here, but you certainly can. You can open up and show a bunch of different stuff in here. Well, one of the things that we're doing in a direction that we're going with media is we're actually going to be creating content on the athletes that are on the platform, and then we'll be loading stuff into their press where we can actually show cool highlights and videos and help to highlight their profiles. So really excited about that feature. But when you go in, you can actually see everything here the way it looks. It's pretty cool. So yeah, so this is what the coaches get. So just so you can see, it does personalize all of them, and it does it like literally within seconds. So you can do this from your phone. You can write emails from your phone. You can write emails from your computer. When I come back, once all my emails have been sent, it says, 3 of your emails have already been sent. And then this is where you can actually see your outreach. So everything is listed in here. And you can actually see like who's been opening, who have you emailed, who's opened your emails, how many clicks you have, the messages, the schools that are replying, and it tells you how to respond as well. So, and then you can see up here, it lights up because my Gmail account is connected. So I know that my Gmail account is connected. And then obviously I can check in my folder, I can go into my Sense, and I've been testing obviously this a lot. So this has gone out to a lot of different college coaches. So you can see it personalizes everything to the coaches, which is really cool. So you don't ever have to worry about making a mistake anymore. Like the contact information for the coaches is in there. The emails actually are written in your voice. Everything kind of comes together. It's really, really unique. So I'm really excited. This launched today. You can go to the VBallRecruiter website. We are in the process of moving away from our existing site and moving on to this platform. So you're going to see beta. We're in the process of moving off our old profiles. Were atrocious, and we really outgrew that site really almost in the first year. But this has been a long time coming, and I'm really, really excited to share it with you. So happy to answer any recruiting questions or any questions about the platform. I've had a lot of great questions tonight, and I'm super excited to be on. I've been a little nervous. It's been a while since I've been on live. Really, I've just had my head down and I've been so focused. I developed a lot of the website myself. I taught myself how to code and have been working actually with a senior full stack engineer, and he and I have been working on this together. So everything that you're seeing, this is my blood, sweat, and tears and my 16 to 18 hours a day every day for the last year. So I'm really excited about it, and I'm excited to share it with you. And I just have so much joy about what's been built. Somebody just asked a question: is there a way to create a free profile for your athlete? Yes, absolutely. The platform itself, you can actually search for schools on the platform. You can have your player profile on there. All of that is free. If you want to connect your email account and use the AI features, that's essentially where the investment is going. And so for that, you pay $199 a month to connect your Gmail, for your emails to be written for you. And then in addition to that, it automatically, it'll answer all your questions. The site is fully agentic. What that means is when a coach responds to you, it will literally ask you, like, would you like me to prepare a response for you? Like, I have a response for you, and it's written in your words. The system every day gets smarter. She gets smarter. The platform gets smarter. My clients have been using a version of AI for the last 2 years. This is just a fully agentic, like, gnarly platform that has been something that I've been making. Somebody else asked, will the existing profiles automatically transfer over to the new site? Yes and no. We took the old profiles and we brought them over. So there are profiles that are on the site, and you should be able to connect to your previous profile. So yes, in a way. But the new sites it's really set up for hundreds of thousands of people to be on the platform. We outgrew our other site like so fast. And this allows athletes to go on. We can have hundreds of thousands of people on here essentially. So we just had to go in a new direction. But yeah, when you go on, you can try and match like your old account and your and just go in and try and create a new account as well. And they'll merge together. So it'll recognize your email, and then it'll link together. So yeah, I feel like I've been talking forever. Happy to answer any questions. Somebody said, nice looking platform. Thank you. It's truly an exciting time. Happy to answer any questions that you have, questions about the platform, questions about recruiting, really anything at all. But yeah, just really, really excited to show there's a lot of really exciting things that are coming too. We have a bunch of new features that are coming. What I love though, one of the things that I was showing earlier tonight on the live is that I literally can come in, and I was showing earlier, like, where am I with Houston volleyball? Poor Dave Rear has had like 100 of my emails. But this will actually give you a breakdown. It's so cool. It'll literally give you a breakdown of everything that's gone on in your recruiting process. You could say across the board with anybody that you're talking to, but it'll also give you a breakdown on any given program. So if you ever are just like in this place where you're like, what is happening? Who's still interested, or who do I even have on my radar that is still interested or still engaged? Who should I be following up with? You literally can ask Vera in here. She can see your messages and like what you've been sending out. She gets to know your whole system. And so it'll allow you to ask any questions at any given time and get a breakdown of exactly what's happening. So it's really, really cool. And when you log on to learn about the platform, I definitely recommend coming over to the tutorial hub, because it'll give you kind of an overview and really explain the program. I'm doing this video, I'm launching this video tomorrow, but this kind of shows, like Vera explained, it'll load, basically each month.
Inside Vera, you'll complete your monthly check-in. And this is one of the most important parts of the entire platform. This is how Vera learns your voice, your story, and what's actually happening in your life and recruiting journey every month.
So there's all kinds of tutorials in here that'll explain every aspect of how to use the software. And you can go onto our site tonight. It's free to use for the first week. You just go to VBallRecruiter.com and you'll go on to the pricing page, and it will allow you to essentially create your new account, get on. You can create your free player profile, and then connect your Gmail account, and get rocking and rolling and get started on your journey. So super excited, and excited to bring it to life. So just want to thank all of you for coming on and showing interest. I'm going to be coming live really I'm hoping on a daily basis at this point. So I better get over my fears, huh? It's been a while since I've been on, but I'm really excited and really pumped for what's to come. You definitely have to check it out. The ability to send emails to 100 schools in less than 2 minutes is pretty remarkable, for you to be able to send personalized messages in your voice to every coach on your platform. Like, I know for a lot of you, you struggle on what to say, like what to say to coaches, what to put in your emails, all of that kind of stuff. And then even just kind of wondering where you are in the process, or maybe a coach wants to, schedule a phone call with you, or wants you to come get on campus, or maybe you have to prep for, a phone call. This will actually prep your phone outlines. Like, it'll allow you to prepare your full call outlines and really know the kinds of questions to be prepared to answer, questions to ask. It actually gives you a complete history of the coaching staff. It's really cool. Somebody just asked, somebody said, let's go. Thank you. I'm super excited. Somebody else asked, what's a good age to start reaching out to colleges? I really recommend that you're starting the process by your freshman year. I think that if you're a elite athlete among the 1%, that starting in 8th grade is not a bad idea. There's just a lot of opportunity with NIL these days. And so I think working to build a presence, if your family's comfortable with it, would be important to actually start working on building your brand by the time you're in 8th grade, starting to create content, and then your email campaign, depending on your level, should come after. But like I said, what I feel strongly about is starting to create that blueprint of yourself. There's so much opportunity these days. Our game is changing. Some people are happy with the direction that it's going. Some people are not super happy with the direction that it's going, but nevertheless, the process is changing. And so something to be aware of. Somebody's asking a question: what should a 2028 athlete expect pre-June 15th Elite ID camp they've been invited to? So it really depends. It depends on the program. A lot of times the coaches that are hosting the camps, obviously with you being a 2028, let's just say that, or your daughter being a 2028, let's say she's being recruited by a program. It's somebody that's genuinely interested in her, and she's going to camp. You would be prepared to probably do a campus overview. Usually they want to do a visit and like have you actually see, they want you to tour the facilities. They want you to be on campus. They want to get to know you a little bit, or a lot of it, I should say. They're trying to figure out who you are as a person if they haven't had much contact with you previously. Typically, they've talked to club coaches or recruiting coordinators and other people to try and get some insight on your background and who you are. And then at camp, they're going to want to see how you stack up. How do you play among their existing kids that might be on campus for camp? So they're going to want to see how well you perform. They're going to want to see how well you interact with the other players. They're going to want to see really what kind of feedback they can offer. A lot of coaches won't do a whole lot of coaching necessarily at the camp right before nationals. I think there's been some talk among club directors and club coaches and college coaches in terms of not trying to change their footwork or their swing or something at a camp. So I think a lot of the coaching is limited. It's really more of an opportunity to kind of get a feel for you. And so you should be asking a lot of questions about, you know, the program, how they, like, for your daughter and her position, I would want to understand like who works within the coaches, like who really works with your daughter's position, and make sure that she feels a connection there. So yeah. So really excited. I'll be on again tomorrow night. I'm going to post some other videos and share more about our platform, but super excited to share it with you all. Go check it out. You can go to VBallRecruiter.com, create your new account. If you had an account previously, you should be able to find yourself, but if not, create a new account and create your player profile. It's free. Obviously, you can see when you connect your Gmail account and send out emails, you can do it all in a breeze. You can send emails to all of your target list in under 2 minutes. It is super crazy. So great to see you all tonight. Thanks for joining, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.